Climate change is like everywhere in society. It's like 1,000 problems. So there's not one cure. There's going to be thousands of little cures, and all that together, that will fix climate change. So that's why we say fixing climate change one startup at a time. That's our motto.
This kind of experience, this kind of investment of time and energy in this kind of event is what Climate Kick is for. It's a space for converting passion to action.
There's a bit of a can-do atmosphere here.
Instead of talking about the problem, is trying to find people who actually think about how to solve the problem.
There is people here that can actually change the world and create a better world if we just give them the chance.
My heart is pumping from the presentation, but I feel great.
I think there's real opportunities here for many of these businesses to go to scale and become game changers in their own sectors.
It's incredible how widespread the ideas are.
We got a lot of mentoring.
We were researchers, and now we're turning into entrepreneurs, so it has been a really transforming experience for us.
We learned so much. We actually did a whole new business concept.
This is an amazing environment, amazing energy. Everybody is so excited and thrilled to be here.
I have to admit that being part of the Climate Launchpad, I really found a very beautiful community that lifts you up.
My experience has been
certainly unique.
So much fun.
Intense, beneficial, nerve-wracking.
Ecstatic, adventurous, and thrilling.
We made it!
The winning has taught me a lot. It is actually telling me that I can still go far.
Go on and pursue that dream, because it's going to be great.
It's about failing and about learning and falling down and getting up again and doing it over until they can succeed.
It doesn't matter what happens here, they got here, which is huge. Out of all the startups, over 900 startups that have applied to be here, and they made it to the top 100. It doesn't matter if they win and they're in the top 10 or not. Their idea may have legs, so keep pitching it, keep moving forward. You're not doing this for the money, and they know they're not doing this for the money. They're doing it for something bigger than that, so just keep moving forward.
The biggest obstacle we have in tackling climate change is ourselves. Are we making a difference in asking ourselves different questions, in challenging ourselves to find the energy to commit to long-term problems and long-term solutions? Yes, I think we are. Are we going fast enough? No. We need more energy, we need more ideas, we need more people, we need more in these kinds of movements so that we do get to critical mass.
Welcome, everyone. I begin today by acknowledging the traditional owners of the different lands we are joining from today. And I am on Woodify country, and I pay my respect to the eldest, past, present, and emerging. And I would like to especially extend that respect to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people who are with us tonight. Thank you to everyone watching. It is my absolute pleasure to welcome you to our Climate Launchpad National Pitch Final. My name is Sine Lengelsen. I'm the Principal of Innovation Programs at Climate Kick Australia, and I'm very lucky, I am joined by Tom Ferrier, CEO and founder of Greener. And the two of us will lead you and our competing startups through the next couple hours. Tom, thanks so much for joining us tonight.
Hey, Sina, look, I am so excited to be here. I was one of the people a couple of years ago that was sitting back right now, one of those ones that's really nervous because it was my turn to pitch. And tonight, I think we're just going to have an amazing lineup. We've got, just so everyone knows, we will be running till about 8 o'clock tonight. So it's a little longer than usual for Friday night drinks and pitches and drinks. So make sure you grab one yourself right now, sit back and really get stuck in because this is going to be a lot of fun. Now, Sina, for those that don't know much about Climate Launchpad, are you able to share just a little bit more about the program?
Yes. Yeah, thanks, Tom. Exactly. Let's just have some fun. We are so excited. Our teams in the background are so excited. Climate Launchpad is the world's largest clean technology and green business ideas competition. Our sister organization, Climate Kick EIT in Europe, launched the competition 7 years ago, and since then has supported around 3,000 startups who have created over 9,000 jobs and have raised more than 120 million euros in capital. And Tom Greener is one of those startups.
Look, yeah, we were really lucky to take it out 2 years ago. We got sent overseas to pitch, and we've come a long way since then. Look, but we started as just an idea coming into this program. We're one of those ones that really started with an idea on a napkin. But the great thing about this program is that it's open to anyone with a great idea around clean technology or innovation in this space. Some of the winners come in with that simple idea on the back of the napkin. Some of them come in with much more well-formed businesses. But either way, what the value is you get out of Launchpad is that you really get pressured. You get pressure tested, you get coached, you get trained to really help refine and strengthen your idea and turn it into a real business. So what's amazing is that this year, the global competition is spanning over 55 countries. And tonight, the top 3 will actually go to the next stage to pitch against the best in Asia.
That's right, Tom. Thank you so much. What a nice overview. And it's always good to hear that from someone who has gone through the program himself. So that's right. Climate Launchpad is run across 55 countries. Here in Australia, Climate Kick Australia delivers the program across 4 states. So we are in Queensland, New South Wales, Victoria, and WA. And tonight we're going to choose the top 3 teams from across the country who will represent Australia once again in the Southeast Asian pitch finals, where they will meet their peers from Japan, the Philippines, Vietnam, and Singapore. And then hopefully our Australian teams will move into the global finals and kicking goals once again. But as Tom said, before you actually get into the national final, before you get that far, like our teams are tonight, you actually have to go through a range of acceleration opportunities. So our teams attended boot camps and webinars with international coaches. They pitched at state pitch finals, and they had a personal mentor to really turn those early stage ideas and amazing innovations into early stage businesses and startups. And Tom, so I was wondering, because you know, it's not a surprise anymore, but there is a pretty big prize up for grabs. And what's your usual reaction when you win a $50,000 grant in one night? Do you have a usual reaction?
Look, no one wants to see it here right now. What I can tell you is that when we won, there wasn't a grant. And I ended up, well, we were lucky it was pre-COVID. We all went out for drinks. And I think I got kicked out of the bar for doing the worm across the dance floor. I'm not going to do it here tonight, but the fact that there's this prize on offer will really help take the best ideas to the next stage. It's amazing. And Humanitech are really the ones behind it. They'll be awarding, I should say, this $50,000 prize to one of the 3 finalists. Now, for those of you who don't know who Humanitech is, they're part of the Red Cross. They're the Red Cross's think and do tank. And I love that bit "and do" at the end, because it's not just a think tank, it's actually about getting things done. And we'd also love to give a shout out to the Telstra Foundation, who really are also the back of this grant.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Tom. And look, Humanitech has certainly become part of the Climate Launch family. We do have a beautiful and uplifting community around Climate Launchpad here in Australia, but also globally. And our sponsors support us in creating this space for really early stage startups and innovators with really big ideas and potential to convert knowledge and passion to action and impact. And the program is free of charge. We do not take any equity or IP. And so tonight is a good opportunity to say a huge thank you to our sponsors who help us to create that space. And our sponsors are the Future Battery Industry, CRC, Race for 2030, and the Department of Industry, Science, Energy and Resources. A huge thank you. And a big thank you to our Climate Launchpad community. And that includes all our judges, our mentors, our colleagues at Climate Kick here and across the world, our alumni, thank you, Tom, and others, and our national network of business partners and friends. thank you to Fishburners who are hosting us tonight. Thanks for creating this community. That is an amazing space to be in. So if there's interest in the audience, I'm also letting you know that we are now accepting expressions of interest from additional sponsors for Climate Launchpad 2022. So Tom, I feel like we've ticked a lot of the admin boxes, what we had to say. Let's have a look at what we're actually doing tonight. Let's have some fun.
Yeah, look, so tonight we're going to hear from 8 of the early stage startups who've made it all the way through Launchpad here in Australia. They're the best of the year. And they're each going to pitch for about 5 minutes, followed by a quick 3-minute Q&A with the judges. Now, once that's all done, the judges are going to sneak off. They're going to deliberate to really understand who the 3 winners will be, those that go on to the next stage. But the thing is, we want to include you in this as well. There's going to be some audience awards where we have guests from all of those people here on the call who are going to be voting on a number of different things, which I'll share in a moment. We'll also be talking to one of our other alumni in the community who's going to share her story about how she got her startup off the ground and how it's actually just won more and more awards ever since Climate Kick. So in the meantime, please feel free to share the love by posting this on socials. Share the link so other people can tune in and see what great Aussie startups have got going this year. And let us know where you're joining from in the chat. Simply just type in the chat below, because we'd love you to be part of it as well.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Tom. And yeah, I agree. Let us know from where you're watching tonight and share the buzz, post in the chat box. We want to be as interactive as possible with you tonight. We would love to be in the same room, but this is already a pretty good alternative. Which leads me to introducing you to our wonderful judges. So at this point in time, our judges, may I ask you to unmute yourselves, and I'm just going to call up your names, and if you could just have a couple of sentences to introduce yourselves, and maybe if you have anything for the teams or to tell the teams before we start the pitches, that would be lovely. Ivo Frischknecht, may I ask you to just quickly unmute yourselves. Ivo is the non-executive director at Race for 2030, and we are delighted to have you here. Are you there, Ivo? We can't hear you yet.
Sorry, didn't realize I was muted by the system. So thanks for that brilliant pronunciation of my surname. So I'm a director on a couple of energy organizations. One of them is Race. I used to run ARENA, the Australian Renewable Energy Agency, and before that was a venture capitalist in the clean technology area. I'm really excited to see the pitches here tonight. I'm actually affiliated with Alara Capital, which is a later stage venture fund. So I do have direct connections to funding.
We love to hear that. And Usman Iftikhar, CEO of Catalyzer, it's a pleasure that you could join us. Would you be so kind to say a couple of words about yourselves and maybe anything you want to share with the teams?
Thanks very much, Sina, for having me. And it's a privilege to be a part of the judging panel today. So I wear a few different hats. I'm the CEO of Catalyzer, which is an incubator supporting migrant and refugee founders. And I'm also part of the Oz Industry Accelerating Commercialization Grants. As a commercialization facilitator, I help give coaching and mentoring and advice to companies who are looking to get funding, which is up to $1 million of match funding by the federal government. So really stoked and excited to be here and looking forward to working with you. I will also be offering some mentoring post this event as well. So for one of the teams that I'll be working with as well. So really looking forward to it. And my only I guess guidance would be that go forth and do it. I think all of you deserve to win here because you've all already put in a lot of hard work and really excited to see all the amazing climate solutions that you're presenting. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Usman. What wonderful word to leave with the teams. I'm sure they're getting more and more nervous. Sarah Ryan, non-executive director of the Future Battery Industry CRC. May I ask you to join us?
Thanks, Sina. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you well. Thanks,
Great.
Sarah.
Thank you. Yes, as Sina said, I'm on the board of the FBI CRC. As the name says, we're trying to encourage the development of new batteries and new battery industries here in Australia. My background is in loosely energy technology development, and I have been myself a COO of a venture capital and private equity backed startup commercialising some geophysical technology, and we made a successful trade sale for $270 million US. So I have lived the dream. So very glad to be with you here tonight.
And we are so glad that you are joining us tonight. Thank you so much, Sarah. Next one, Alistair Prior, head of the lab at Humanitech. And we're still so excited about this partnership between Climate Launchpad and Humanitech. Alistair, would you mind to say a few words?
Yeah, thanks, Sina. Can you hear me?
Yes, very well.
Oh, a pleasure. Yeah, it's been super tremendous working with Climate Kick on this one. Yeah, huge round of applause goes to Sina, Will and Jess for putting this together. As Tom introduced Humanitech and Telstra Foundation, Humanitech is a Think Plus Do tank. I have the privilege of leading the doing side of the tank. And so, yeah, the doing side, which is the lab, we identified community problems caused by disasters and emergencies, climate and equity and justice, and look to support organisations working with frontier technology to solve them. So, yeah, absolutely rapt to be awarding a 50K development grant tonight and a place into our 2021 innovation program. So thank you so much and good luck to all.
Thank you, Alistair. Wonderful words. And yeah, we are as excited as you are. And last but certainly not least, Jackie Coates, head of Telstra Foundation. Thank you so much for being here, Jackie. And thank you so much for supporting Climate Launchpad and our startups this year.
Oh, look, it's great to be here. I think Elle and I come sort of as a package deal. We're just so thrilled to be the founding funder of Humanitech. And we're all about sort of basically supporting social change through technology with a big focus on climate action, community-led climate action with not-for-profits. So it's really exciting to see what comes up today, and I can't wait.
Same here. Thank you so much, Jackie. Tom, I think we're ready. We are there.
The
audience is relieved. The audience goes like, let's finally watch those pictures. All right.
100%.
So, over to you. Let's call up that first team.
Yeah, look, firstly, the judges, what a caliber. They are amazing. You're so lucky to be pitching in front of these people. But it's now time to get serious. I want to call up the first team, Whirl, to get their pitch up. Now, just so you know, and to reiterate how it works, you have 5 minutes to pitch, then 3 minutes of question and answer from the judges. I'm going to hand over to you now. Best of luck and make it happen.
Team Whirl, please share your presentation. Alina, can I confirm that you're ready?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you very well.
Can you see slides okay?
Yes, we can.
Wonderful, thanks.
Alina, your time to pitch starts now.
Thank you. If you've thought about buying an electric car, you've probably asked yourself, which one? A Tesla? Can I actually afford it? Where and when do I plug in? For many people, all these things could fall into the too hard basket. But what if I told you this woman in the photo is your neighbor? Her name's Molly. She owned her electric car for 2 years. She charges at home. She takes her kids to school and on road trips and loves how doing her bit for the environment makes her feel. Molly is happily available as one of our national ambassadors to support you on your electric car buying journey. Whirl's mission is to make electric cars accessible to all. And our business model is simple. It includes 2 key parts. First, we provide customers with trusted, independent guidance on electric cars, including ambassadors like Molly, who are available to speak to their ownership experience for a small fee. Next, we support industry, referring buyers to the right products and services, opening up a finder's fee revenue stream, and enabling customers to take action in a seamless end-to-end model. With growing interest in electrification, We are confident our agile platform can position itself to unlock new revenue streams. What we do isn't novel, but how we do it is what sets us apart. Our peer community ensures no one is left behind. Our beachhead market targets interested electric car shoppers in Australia and offers an opportunity for $75 million in revenue by year 5. But sustainability is more than just about cars. Over time, Whirl has the potential to contribute to a multi-billion-dollar market by enabling householders to build out their own net zero homes with solar panels, battery storage, and home chargers as well. Getting a customer up to speed on electric motoring is cumbersome and time-consuming for the customer and industry. Whirl cuts the education time in half with an informational marketplace and access to experts, all available from the comfort of your couch. By leveraging the power of peer influence, Whirl makes shopping for an electric car social and modern. We estimate Whirl will increase sales conversion 10 times over. So how does it work? Well, let's think about how you normally shop. Whether you buy a watch, a coffee maker, or solar for your home, you normally do your research, check out products online and in person, talk to a friend, and then go for your life. Whirl matches this process for electric cars. We know that when buying an electric car, the perceived trade-off between economics and environment is considerable. Whirl's digital platform tailors your shopping experience and takes you through 4 clear steps. We want to make sure you have all the information you need to learn, experience, validate, and then when you're ready, buy. Last month, we launched the first stage of our MVP, and we have bolted out of the gates. Our usership has grown by 170%, and we've started to earn revenue. We've brought more ambassadors on board to help with expanding our electric car access and extended our validation to now include 800 customers. This has solidified our product market fit and helped us to discover a new customer, businesses. We have also established key partnerships and have more coming. We're still testing our pricing and we're playing with a subscription model, but now it's clear our customers are non-technical buyers and women. Running lean, Whirl's marketplace achieves profitability in year 2 and builds to an annual profit of $15 million by year 5 with repeat customers and strategic partners such as electricity retailers and motoring clubs. The value of our offering grows as fossil fuel cars phase out, clean energy offerings grow in, and pro-electric car government policies help to raise awareness. Whirl accelerates the shift to a sustainable lifestyle starting with motoring. As the largest contributor to passenger transport, the sector is ripe for change, and we are committed to flipping the fleet. Swapping one conventional car for an electric car more than halves the emissions. But when you fit out your home with a solar-enabled charger, it's easy to get to net zero. This purpose-led enterprise is run by a team of passionate female founders working together for the last year to flip the fleet to 50% electric by 2030. I'm Alina, the CEO of Whirl, a 15-year sustainability and energy professional, electric car owner, and PhD in the consumer adoption of EVs, as well as employee 109 at Tesla back when it was a real startup in California. Rami has represented top global brands as a champion performance engineer and also founded a community association for entrepreneurial women. Like me, she's a mother and a beach lover. Alicia's expertise in digital media and customer experience keeps our model customer-centric. She is well-versed in bridging the gap between humans and technology and educating through experience. Together, we are committed to making electric cars accessible to everyone. Will you join us and give it a whirl? Thank you.
Hey. That was just great. What a great concept and what an amazing team you've got. Look, I'm going to hand over to the judges. Judges?
Thank you.
Questions?
Judges, I will encourage you to just unmute yourselves, and we give you a few seconds to get yourself sorted with your scorecards, and then we will start the question and answer. Can you just give me a thumb up, Alistair? I can see you, and I can also see Jackie if you're ready. Perfect. Okay. So Team Whirl, your question and answer with the judges starts now.
Hello. Hi, Alina. It's Jackie Coates here. Look, I've just got a question. If you could give us a little bit more detail about the validation process you went through with your pricing strategy. You mentioned that you were going to do some more.
Yeah, absolutely. So we started by doing a survey, which we made available to electric car owners mainly through social media. So using Facebook groups, as well as our following on Instagram and Twitter. And we asked customers whether they would be interested to take advice and test rides from a peer, and then what pricing structure made sense to them. We similarly asked the electric car owners who were using through our model whether they would seek remuneration for their time. And overwhelmingly, they said no. They wouldn't need it.
Great, thank you.
So it's Ivor. If I'm an ambassador or one of these mollies that are going to help your customers, why do I want to do this other than I'm super passionate about EVs?
Yeah, you're passionate about EVs, but you're also passionate about the environment. So you're really happy about the decision you've made to drive an electric car, but you also want to contribute, and making yourself available to speak to your peers is something that actually has a very small impost on your time. And you're doing it anyway. So that tends to be what motivates them. Over time, though, we recognize that model may not be sustainable. And so the strategic partnerships that we're making with industry, we think will offer rewards to our membership through the ambassador network.
And how do I know that your referrals are unbiased? Like, are you only going to send me to Tesla because as a customer because Tesla gives you a better payment?
No, our intention is to recruit strategic industry partners that have a buy-in, kind of like a membership base. And so all of the same level of industry partnership will receive the same level of attention.
Okay, we might have time for one more question if there is.
Yeah, amazing pitch, Alina.
Thank you.
And congratulations for getting this far. As you were one of the odd 100 to be at Tesla, have you explored partnering with manufacturers or?
Yeah, absolutely. We see automotive OEMs as one of our key strategic partners in delivering Whirl's model. So Tesla and some of the others that have growing market share in Australia are absolutely on the list.
Cool.
Okay, judges, thank you for that. That's been great. You have 1 more minute to finalize your scorecard, and please then click through to the next team's scorecard judges. Sina, I'll hand to you for the next one.
Yes, thanks, Tom. Yeah, judges, we give you another few seconds to send off your scorecard and move on to the next team. Team Facade, Ankit and Pavel, may I ask you to get ready? It's your time to screen share. Wonderful. And we can see you very well.
Yep, everything coming across okay?
Yes, Ankit, you sound great. And I can see your holding slide, which looks great. And I can see our judges still being very busy. So I'm just gonna wait another few seconds. Okay, Sarah, can you give me the thumbs up if you feel like you can send off your scorecard? Great. Alistair, you ready to move on to the next team? Okay, great. On that note, Ankit, please start your pitch. Your time starts now.
Thank you. Are you a dark data hoarder? Dark data is data which is stored but unused. Are your files spread across a range of systems like your Google Drive, Dropbox, and Slack? Businesses face this problem, but on a much larger scale. This negatively impacts their cloud storage costs, cybersecurity, and carbon emissions. This turns their data, what should be a valuable asset, into an expense and a liability. Every gigabyte we store on the cloud has a measurable impact on the climate. I'm Ankit from Facade, and we think that the best way for businesses to regain control of their data is through a platform. We have built this platform that connects and unifies the various cloud services used by businesses. Our deal is to provide access to a cloud data optimization and monitoring platform in exchange for a 50% fee on generated cost savings. We centralize the monitoring of dark data across cloud systems, optimize your costs, and share the savings as our payment. We are targeting companies in data-intensive industries that are big enough to need and have a CTO or a technical team to manage their systems, but do not have dedicated data, information, or cyber specialists. They also fall under data legislation and mandates to reduce their own or their customers' carbon footprint. Our beachhead market is the 20,000 medium to large businesses in data-intensive industries. These are companies actively looking for a solution to their redundant data problem. We are targeting a 20% market share across this market in Australia by 2024. Australia has the second largest cloud and data market in the Asia Pacific region, which is why it makes sense as a starting point. We then want to use this as a springboard to move on to other broader market areas. Dark data has a globally addressable market of $1.5 billion. As the graph shows, the average cost of data storage for 100 terabytes of data across major cloud providers is around $30,000 per year. Our proprietary algorithm enables our customers to better understand their data and any redundancies. We then cut data storage and costs in half. This also leads to reduced cyber risk and provides peace of mind that the data is safe and that the right file is quickly accessible when needed. Less storage ultimately means less energy and less emissions. Facada is a cloud data optimization platform for data-intensive businesses. Get started by simply signing into your existing services and get an overview of your data across your systems. Our biggest competitive advantages are being the first mover. Our proprietary algorithm, which is already being trialed and tested with customers to get insights, and our scalability as a clean tech solution. Since the state final of Climate Launchpad, we have reached out to decision makers in 50 businesses, narrowing them down to 10 potential clients and 4 potential distributors. Our key hypotheses were that the businesses have and store a lot of cloud data, and they spend a lot of money for that. We learned that having a lot of data poses a great cost and security risk, and that our target market wants to do something about it. This was validated by us securing our first pilot with a major university and securing a zero equity New South Wales state government startup grant. Our next steps are to generate case studies to further quantify the savings and benefits with our early adopters. In our beachhead market, we will make a profit of $9.3 million per year at our target 20% market share. What's interesting is that the largest cost of our business is in the initial customer acquisition. Our key value drivers are the sale price, the lifetime customer value, and the market share that we can acquire. Data storage is energy intensive. Every terabyte of data stored produces 40 kilograms of carbon emissions. This chart shows a representative customer from our beachhead market. The customer produces 2 tons of CO2 per year from their data. We want to reduce the emissions of data by 50% through minimizing the dark data. At our target beachhead market share, we expect to reduce emissions by 4,000 tons of carbon emissions every year. Pavel and I have worked together for over 6 years across a range of projects in a range of industries. We have seen this problem of dark data everywhere, which is why our vision is to create a sustainable digital society together. Data is the fastest growing commodity today. The hidden externalities should not grow in the same manner. We need to remember that the cleanest gigabyte of data stored is the one that isn't. Thank you.
Well done. What a great presentation. I'm going to give the judges a few seconds. Look at your peers. Everyone is dancing. Everyone is so happy. You've done so well. Judges, it must be hard. I know it's a tough time frame to judge and score and watch. But are you ready for question and answer? Can you give me the thumbs up? Great. Sarah, you ready? Usman? Yeah, fantastic. Great. On that note, Ankit, your question and answer with the judges start now. And judges, please just unmute yourself and ask your questions.
Great. Two questions. You highlighted less energy, less emissions. Have you calculated the sort of savings per organization, especially if it's like a SME? And then the second question is, what is the cost per acquisition? As you said, that's the most expensive part of the model. Thank you.
So for your first question was, what was the benefit, I guess, the cost benefit for an SME?
Yeah.
Which was, so we used a study by Belong, which said that 1 terabyte of data is 40 grams. So what was the number there? So based on that calculation, we thought that the minimum kind of requirement we need is the 5 to 100 terabytes, which is why that's our kind of target size. Below that, from an emissions perspective and kind of a benefit perspective, it's not quite the size that we need for a startup to kind of make that initial big inroads at our early stage.
Cool. So is it more like economies of scale? So the impact is really driven from mass adoption?
So, I mean, yeah, ultimately, the more data we can reduce, the bigger our impact. So, and that's why we've aligned our business model to that, because 90% of data is dark. We can definitely kind of make some big impacts kind of initially.
Great. Thank you.
Great. Usman. Yeah, Sarah, please.
Yeah. Thanks. It's a really neat idea. So if I'm the CTO and we've got lots of data, how can I be sure that your algorithm isn't going to chew up all my valuable data?
Excellent question. Data protection is, big among our early adopters and the people that we've spoken to. So what we do is we work on the metadata level. So we scrape as little data as possible for our algorithm to make its decision. And then we flag that at this point. We don't go in, take copies, store anything. It's purely almost an insight-driven approach at this point. So we flag for you, hey, do you really need 55 copies of new text files across all your systems? And at this point, we're still kind of training our algorithm. And that's also what we're doing with our early university adopter to kind of be sure that this is the outcome that our customers want.
Thank you, Sarah. Usman, we have 15 seconds left. Was there any very quick question?
How are you going to reach all those customers? You already said that was the most expensive bit.
Yes. So as part of our customer discovery, we've actually found carbon offset project developers are quite responsive to our idea. So we want to basically use them to on-sell, because they're literally trying to help other companies reduce their carbon emissions. And we're wanting to provide a new, unique way to do that.
Okay, great. I'll have to stop you here and keep. Great questions by our judges. Tom, would you like to call up our next team?
Yeah, look, that was great. I think next up we have Australian Circular. So I think by now you know the drill. 5 minutes for your pitch, 3 minutes for Q&A. Judges, are you all good for the next one to start? Okay, we're getting a lot of thumbs up here. Fantastic. Australian Circular, over to you. Good luck.
Hello, everyone. Lithium-ion batteries are widely being used in electric vehicles, renewable energies, and electronic devices. As a result, the continued accumulation of spent lithium-ion batteries has led to growing economic and environmental consequences. In an Australian context, this is a significant issue. As a country, we have a growing amount of spent lithium-ion batteries, with only 3% of them being recycled. We are Australian Circular, and we will be solving this issue. Our business model is very simple. We get waste batteries at no cost or at a low value from distributors. We perform a simple recovery process that yields commodities for critical industries. Lithium carbonate is one of our key products. With a huge market potential, we have global ambitions. However, we will solve the issue first in Australia. Within Australia, there is a high need for lithium carbonate and metal oxides in different industries, which is currently being imported. Then, we will license our process in countries which are substantial importers of lithium carbonate. With our process, we will reduce the amount of hazardous waste being accumulated in Australia. And as we produce lithium carbonate as a local product, this will significantly reduce the shipping fees of lithium carbonate by 90%, helping our customers reach their environmental, social, and governance goals. We have several products in our business, and all of them are recovered from a waste that would otherwise end up in landfill. At the moment, our primary product is lithium carbonate. As we continue to grow and develop, we will also become capable of producing added value products such as metal oxides. These products will further help to mitigate resource scarcity and grow our business model. All of this will be done by a unique process that will be covered under a patent. Our company works to demonstrate a real circular economy and to improve resource sustainability. This allows our customers to improve their sovereign capability by providing scalable local modular recycling units. Our initial customers for lithium carbonate are construction companies, followed by glass manufacturers, ceramic manufacturers, and later on, battery manufacturers. Through extensive customer research with more than 50 interviews, we determined the vital technical requirements of our product. So far, several companies have shown strong interest in our product. However, our main customer is a construction company which imports 80 tons of lithium carbonate per year. We also recognize that it is important to work with Australian Battery Recycling Initiative and the Battery Stewardship Council to assure we comply with the current recycling and waste collecting legislations. From our business model, we expect a high return with an estimated annual profit of almost 400,000 Australian dollar per year, which will work to create many job opportunities locally. Additionally, we will be able to produce a quarter of the lithium carbonate demand in Australia, which is currently being imported. In the near future, we will be able to produce enough lithium carbonate locally that Australian companies will no longer need to import the resource. Apart from the increased job opportunities, there will also be a 48% decrease in the energy consumption for producing materials using recycled lithium carbonate instead of raw materials. We are also producing it locally, avoiding the current import cost by shipping lithium carbonate from South America to China and finally Australia. We dream to be the early mover, introducing novel battery recycling technology to save resources and to provide local jobs. We aim to do this through a near zero waste, cost-effective and environmentally friendly approach. By doing this, we will reduce the energy demand in materials production and will make a positive impact on the climate. Thanks for listening to us.
Thank you. That was great. Okay, so judges, show of hands, who wants to go first?
I'm happy to dive in. It's Jackie here. So you mentioned about the lithium carbonate. Can you just give us a little bit of an insight into the local competitive landscape on that? You mentioned it was an international landscape that you've been looking at for the competition.
Thanks for the question. Actually, we noticed that lithium carbonate is currently imported to Australia. So, so we think that we don't have any local competitor in here in Australia for lithium carbonate. But in an international scale, I think China, European Union, and US and Japan are the largest importers of lithium carbonate as well. Because lithium carbonate is currently produced in South America, and then it is transferred to China, and then it's processed in China, and then is exported to those countries. So we think that we have a huge opportunity in there.
Thanks for clarifying. Thanks, Ravi.
My question is, are you using pyrolysis? What are you doing to recycle the batteries? If you're using pyrolysis, there's many other companies working on that. So what's different about yours?
Well, actually, we are using pyrolysis under a reduced oxygen atmosphere. So in that case, we won't lose lithium and other light elements in the pyrolysis reactor, like manganese and iron. So we are able to recover lithium as a light metal in pyrolysis reactor, and then we are able to process the other elements in a separate operation that we are currently working on that. That's the main benefit of our process, that everything is going to be recovered, although in other processes, light elements are lost as a slag.
Have you already done this process at a sort of small lab scale, and then do you know what how much resources it will take to run a sort of pilot scale manufacturing plant for this to be able to do this process?
Yes, we have done this in a lab scale, but I couldn't understand your second question. Can you please repeat it?
So how much capital cost would you need to be able to run a sort of larger pilot so they can actually produce the quantities that are then needed to be able to sell to customers?
To be able to start the plant as a pilot plant, we need 200,000 as a capex capital cost for 5 years.
Okay. If I may just do a quick follow-up on that, have you already got part of that funding, or are you looking for that at the moment?
We are looking for that.
Thank you.
No worries.
Well, best of luck then, because 50K could come your way, which would be a quarter of that, which would be great. Judges, if you wouldn't mind just finalising your scorecards, that'd be great. And Santa, I guess I might hand to you to introduce the next team. Santa, you might be on mute. If that's the case, I might just introduce the next team. Judges, are you guys all okay? Oh, I love this efficiency from the judges. This is just incredible. Okay, so next up, we have Team Iwa. Guys, get your slides ready. You've got 5 minutes to really impress this panel.
You know, humans have produced some pretty amazing inventions, but the garbage bin isn't one of them. Not only are they disgusting, but they also make waste very expensive. The physical collection of waste can cost a lot of money, but it also costs a lot of time, because changing regulations and recycling rules make taking out the trash a guess at best and a confusing time drain at worst. Now, if you manage a business, that's a problem, a very real problem. Expensive services and inefficient uses of time can be the difference between a success and failure for a business. And so we think it's time for the world to rethink the bin, which is exactly what we're doing here at AWA. AWA is an on-site waste-to-energy bin. By using a thermochemical treatment process, AWA converts common waste materials directly into electricity. Think of AWA like an everything bin. What do we mean by everything? Everything. Receipts, yogurt tubs, coffee cups, nappies, avocado pits, whatever. Users can throw all of their rubbish into one stylish bin and have it quietly converted into green electricity. And the best part is, you never have to empty AWA. Any remaining residue or ash is simply flushed through to sewage. That's huge saving for business and a huge sigh of relief for the environment. Now, AWA operates under a proven business model known as technology as a service. So instead of users purchasing AWA units, they lease them at a price of $600 a month per unit. This way, cash flow is never a barrier to sustainability. Our beachhead market is Sydney hospitality groups. We chose this clear customer segment because 1, they produce a lot of waste, they have a lot of capital, and we have connections in the industry. Down the line, we do wish to move into similar groups domestically and internationally, and eventually begin to service other high waste segments like leisure or retail or even households. Because let's be honest, waste is a problem for everyone. Now, we address a real pain for our users, the bottom line, because we make waste expenseless. For a hospitality group, annual waste collection costs can total close to $1 million every year, and AWA cuts that figure in half. But we also save them money on electricity savings and time by making their waste operations simple. So managers never again waste time figuring out what stinky recycling bins will accept, because AWA eradicates a big expense and everyone's least favourite chore, the bins. The first of its kind, AWA is a workhorse, not a show pony. Feed AWA your rubbish and as quickly as 90 minutes have it converted into green electricity. How? Well, when waste is placed in AWA, it begins a thermal treatment process to break the waste down into a hydrogen-rich gas. By using a breakthrough filter technology, that gas is then cleaned before finally reaching a fuel cell, at which point the gas is reformed into electricity. AWA self-cleans and any remaining ash is flushed through sewage. Rinse and repeat. And with the help of our partner lab, we've actually built a proof of concept prototype to demonstrate the feasibility of this technology. It's safe, simple, and sanitary, which is exactly as a bin should be. Forgotten. And that's exactly what our customers want. We've interviewed over 21 managers, employees, and owners of Sydney's largest hospitality groups, and their key desire is not to have to smell, touch, move, or even think about their waste. And I mean, can you blame them? And this really feeds our profitable and recurring revenue model, which projects an annual revenue of $301,000 within the first year with just 4 hospitality clients. And the key value drive behind this is obviously units leased. Now, by converting waste into electricity, a business can reduce its carbon footprint by up to 80%. But you know what? It's actually bigger than that because waste is bigger than just CO2. Waste and pollution are contributing to water contamination, carcinogenic leakage, and ecological disruption, which all have a disproportionate impact on marginalised and vulnerable communities across Australia. Now, with hospitality being one of the highest waste industries, AWA can help put an end to all of this. And being an Australian-made product, AWA also supports these communities by creating jobs within the advanced manufacturing industry. Combined, our team has over 15 years of direct experience working with waste-to-energy technologies. We've worked across 3 different startups between all of us. So we have very bold dreams. We want AWA to be in 1 billion buildings by 2050. We're done seeing plastic float past us in the ocean. We want a world in which landfill is gone, trucks gone, and the concept of waste altogether gone. We believe AWA can do that and fundamentally change the world. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, guys. We're excited to hear your questions. That was really cool. I was that person who had to do the bins, and I didn't enjoy it as a kid. So love the solution. Judges, who'd like to go first?
How big is that bin? And also, if you could talk a little bit more about the climate impacts, because there's a whole lot of non-renewable waste, like plastics, for example, that presumably you're going to turn into carbon dioxide, among other things, instead of burying in a landfill.
Yeah, of course. So the size is about 440 litres. And in terms of climate impact, so there are CO2 emissions with our process, as with any waste to energy process. However, it's much better than the alternative, and the numbers are roughly about 27 times better than the current alternative of waste, just rotting in landfill. Plus, if you take into consideration, like the full life cycle of waste, considering all the trucks, the pickup, the collections, the processing, the transport, it really, really, really starts to add up in our favor. So just doing it on site and processing it on site alone is a fantastic benefit.
Thanks.
Yeah, great pitch. I guess you mentioned you're currently at like a POC stage. I guess, have you worked out this and calculated the sort of amount of money that it will incur to develop to like a ready product that reflects the sort of bin that you have designed?
Yeah, so Riley, my co-founder, and I, we're currently in, I guess, the closing stages of a full delivery model for like a fully sophisticated project budget. And we're looking at the kind of lower bound is close to 300,000, upper bound is 1.5 mil, depending on how much of that we bring, like, internally, and how much we want to scale and really prepare to scale. So
cool. And then my second question would be, is there any types of bins like this in the market, or?
Yeah, so there's a similar product out of the UK called HERU. I think it stands for Home Energy Resource Unit. And it's similar process, so it uses a combination of thermochemical treatments. However, they actually just use their kind of like syngas or their pyrolysis gas to power like boilers, so water heaters. And so it's far less, there's less utility in an electrifying market. And so we just see our business model as being better.
Cool. Thanks, Bowden.
Time for one more.
Covered all bases, hey?
If not, the pitch, yeah, mate, you nailed it there. So great work again. Sina, I might hand to you for what's next.
Bodhi, that were some solid answers. I'm very proud of you guys, of all of you. So we've watched 4 startups pitch, and we're going to have a 5-minute break to allow the judges to catch their breath and fill in their scorecards and just making sure they get a moment. And so in the meantime, it's actually my pleasure to invite one of our major sponsors, the CEO, John Judson of Race for 2030. John, would you mind joining us and sharing a few words with us?
Thanks, Sina. Congratulations to all the teams. We're very pleased to have Climate Kick as a partner of Race for 2030, and we're delighted to be a sponsor of the Launchpad to nurture startups in such a critical field for the Australian economy and for our futures. As a sponsor, I get to give you a little bit of a pitch about what we do at Race for 2030. We're a cooperative research centre for the energy and carbon transition. RACE stands for Reliable, Affordable, Clean Energy, but the name also reflects the urgency of our mission. We're interested in the decarbonisation and reducing costs and improving reliability of energy services, and our focus is on end users, businesses, precincts, homes, communities, and the distribution of energy services. We've got over 70 partners contributing to the CRC, including government, energy suppliers, energy users, researchers, and technology companies. We're just starting the second year of a 10-year funded program with about $350 million of resources to deploy. So we'll be focusing in the next couple of years on 4 core challenges: optimising the application of rooftop solar while supporting grid security, integrating EVs through smart charging and two-way charging, integrating with the grid, millions of homes to scale retrofits for lower emissions and increased comfort, and paths to net zero for business. Over the next year, we want RACE to have an increased role in nurturing and supporting Australian startups in our space, and we hope to see some of you ultimately becoming RACE partners. So thank you again for having us involved in this important venture, and good luck to all of you.
Thank you so much, John. Pleasure that you were able to join us. Thanks for making time, and thanks for sharing some words with the teams, and also a bit of an insight into Race for 2030. Now, next team up is Woodify. Daniel and Tristan and Andre, may I ask you to get ready? And judges, you had a moment and a nice little break. We're just going to continue, keep going. You're doing really well. Nice questions. I can see you all being very focused. Thanks so much. Okay, Andre or Tristan or Daniel, are you ready to share?
Yes, very ready, Sina. Can you see that?
You get that extra round of applause.
Thank you.
All right, your time to pitch starts now.
Architects and building designers today still rely on 100-year-old methods of design, assembly, and construction. They still make decisions using intuition and rules of thumb, which in turn waste time and money both in the studio and on site. New, more sustainable materials and design and construction methods can reduce project development cycles, simplify and speed up construction, and basically deliver better spaces for people. But often this is simply too difficult or time-consuming for building professionals to integrate into their already complicated processes. Simply put, the building industry wants to be faster and cheaper, but lacks the knowledge and expertise to take advantage of modern technology such as automation, advanced manufacturing, off-site fabrication, and data-driven design. Our software platform enables building design professionals to take out high carbon materials such as steel and concrete and replace them with modern engineered timber. It is as easy as clicking a button, selecting from a series of options, and making informed decisions in a fraction of the time compared to traditional methods. And by the way, it reduces emissions by up to 66%. My name is Tristan, we are Woodify, and we are here to decarbonise the Australian construction industry.
What we do is we provide building designers with a green building recommendation engine that provides them real-time cost, circularity, and impact feedback. It costs $50 as a software as a service monthly, and there's a consultancy for the more complicated and bespoke projects that costs $250 an hour. Our beachhead market are the 4,700 architecture firms in Australia who work in the commercial and multi-res sectors. And this grows to 9,430 architecture firms when we add the institutional and civic sectors. But the real market here are the residential builders of Australia, which number 51,250, and that's worth $36 million annually to Woodify. Without Woodify, our customers tell us that they spend up to $3,000 in a month per project designing, specifying, and verifying greener materials. With Woodify, this takes a fraction of the time and costs as little as $350 per project. This is a saving of up to $2,650. This allows building designers to meet growing community demand for greener and cheaper buildings. Our product allows designers to upload the building to the platform, where they can then select from material options where fabrication, construction, and assembly is simulated. All the while, they are provided with real-time feedback on the impact of their decisions as they work in their platform. Our advantages are speed to market, complying with new regulations, and locking in long-term agreements with suppliers and fabricators. We spoke to real building professionals with real problems. A key assumption was that designers were our key customers. We discovered that this was the case, but also developers and builders are very interested in a platform like this, which grows our beachhead market considerably. We assumed that there would be competency requirements around zero carbon buildings. We discovered that this is the case, but there are also legislative requirements incoming. And we also assumed that there would be a desire to use a software as a service platform such as Woodify. We discovered that this is the case, but any platform has to integrate tightly with the workflows that building professionals are already using day to day. Our product sees a 40% market share, which brings us a profit of $900,000 per year for the software as a service. And translating that into just a 3% share for the consultancy brings us $1.2 million per year. The construction industry itself contributes 30% of global carbon emissions. Without Woodify, this means that the materials that go into buildings contribute 120 million tonnes of CO2 per year. By simply substituting out concrete and steel with engineered timber, this can be reduced by up to 66%. And this means that construction emits less than 40 million tonnes of CO2 per year. This is equivalent to 17 million cars off the road, the annual energy usage of 9 million homes, and 15,000 wind turbines that you simply don't have to build. Woodify is Daniel Giuffre, Tristan Morgan, and Andre Smolik. We are architects and a new breed of design professionals working in the design and construction industry who leverage code and automation to deliver better buildings. This gives us an unparalleled advantage of industry insight that we are intimately familiar with through our combined years of experience on some of the largest local and international projects. We want to Woodify the world. We want to achieve a $10 million valuation by 2025. And we want to see a zero carbon Australian construction industry by 2030. Thank you.
What a slogan. We want to Woodify the world. That's so cool. All right, judges. I can see you still filling in some scorecards, and I give you a few seconds. How are you doing, Tristan?
Good, Sina. It's a lovely afternoon in WA.
Yes, I know. I feel like I can see a little bit of sunshine in the background.
It's still poking through. It's great.
I'm sure. All right.
Want to get started?
Judges, are you ready? Perfect. So Tristan, your question and answer with the judges start now.
Can I ask a really simple question?
Yes.
What is engineered wood?
Engineered wood is basically timber that, rather than being in its raw form as kind of raw lumber, it goes through a process whereby its strength is increased through engineered processes. There are several forms of it, but typically it allows for lower quality wood to be turned into much higher performing material.
And is that softwood or hardwood? So how would this work in Queensland?
It's softwood primarily if you're talking about things like LVL, but hardwood is also used for different products. So you have glue laminated timber. The popular timber at the moment is CLT with this crosslamp, but yeah, it's any wood, but mostly softwood right now.
Thank you.
Hi, Tristan. Al here. Yeah, great pitch. Loved your user research. With the regulations, does it differ between state or is it like national regulations?
Oh no, we've dropped out, Dan.
Sorry.
Are you okay, Tristan? Did you hear that question?
His internet's dropped out, so I can step in.
Okay, you might have to speak up a little bit. Daniel, speak up a little bit.
Just to answer your question, yes, it's happening at a federal level.
Cool.
There's conversations at the moment with this Architects Registration Board federally about bringing that in as a competency for architects. And it's also happening at various states across Australia where they're starting to bring that in as a requirement.
Great, thank you.
And so this is Ivor. Great pitch, huge impact. How are you going to reach all those architects and builders? When I renovated my house a few years ago, I was told that by the architect that the builders couldn't handle steel because that was a new technology, that we had to stick with wood.
Yes, that's a really good point. Well, we work in the industry, so we already have an insight into how the industry operates, and we already have relationships with builders and fabricators, and that's one of the parts of the product that really makes it gives us an advantage. But because it's become such an easy to use platform, it becomes really accessible. And also, our beachhead market doesn't deal with residential builders, so we're really dealing with the larger practices and the larger constructors to get it right, to get basically the growth in the market, and then we're moving into the residential market once we've proven it in the larger commercial market.
Great, thanks.
Okay, so I think we're at time there. Thank you for that, Woodify. One more round of applause. Okay, well, next up we have C Labs. Now, guys, what? C Labs, get your pitch ready, get your slides ready, and we just want to get a confirmation from the judges before we unleash you that they're ready to go. And I think, again, we're good. This is just incredible. Okay, well, C Labs, it's over to you. You've got 5 minutes, and good luck.
Hi everyone, I am Nandita Sirigiri and I represent C Labs, Smart Eco Energy Labs. We all are witnessing lithium-ion battery technology in our electric cars. But in developing countries as India, where I come from, I was surprised to see that most of the light vehicles, which are major mode of transportation, are still running by burning fossil fuels, a major contributor to climate change. One of the main reasons is that an average middle-class person cannot afford a light electric vehicle because they are expensive. On the other hand, lots of used lithium-ion batteries from electric cars are being dumped into landfill with much more capacity left in them. As scientists, we aim to convert these used lithium-ion batteries into efficient repurposed batteries for light vehicles. This is our primary vision at C Labs in making light electric vehicles affordable. At C Labs, we collect the used electric car batteries from our suppliers, work towards producing efficient, profitable repurposed batteries, and provide these to light vehicle manufacturers, helping them in transition from fuel-based to light electric vehicles. The light vehicle manufacturers will definitely get a considerable profit by our affordable and eco-energy repurposed batteries, thus making profit for our suppliers as well as light vehicle manufacturing customers. Our primary beachhead market is India. The Indian light vehicle market is the third largest market in the world with the sales of over 2 million units in 2020. Since the 20th century, India has been heavily dependent on fossil fuels. However, India has been giving more attention towards clean energy transition and has set a goal of having clean energy account for 60% by 2030. At C Labs, we save the used electric car batteries from our suppliers from being dumped into landfill towards repurposed batteries. Our suppliers can earn a profit of $50 per battery unit that is repurposed. On the other hand, with our C batteries, the light vehicle manufacturing customers can save up to $700 per vehicle than regular fuel-based engines. This helps in about 45% reduction in cost per vehicle. Our product C batteries are smart, sustainable, and environmental friendly. The raw materials are recovered batteries at end of their first life. With our efficient battery expertise, along with advanced artificial intelligence technology, we work on disassembly of used battery systems, system screening, repair, and assembling them into new configuration, thus providing repurposed, ready-to-use battery technology to our light vehicle manufacturing customers. We mainly interviewed the light vehicle manufacturers based in India. We wanted to know how manufacturers refer to clean energy transition in order to meet the renewable energy target and which budget is available for making this change. After preliminary discussion with experts working in the battery field, we have learned that used battery transport regulations and cost is something that we need to consider. We are planning to target 20% of our beachhead market, which is nearly 20 light vehicle manufacturing companies. We expect the profit of about 2.2 million Australian dollars per year. Our main key drivers are market, as in customers, market share, and cost of the product. Electric vehicles are responsible for considerably lowering the carbon dioxide emissions over their lifetime than internal combustion engine vehicles. Our product can help in reducing up to 15% of the overall carbon dioxide emissions. As a result, 1.5 million tons of carbon dioxide in India can be saved. To be able to do this project, we are an amazing team of 4, myself, Ms. Sneha, Dr. Kalani, and Mr. Moshtaba, aiming to produce efficient repurposed batteries towards affordable light electric vehicles. Hence, hi everyone, I am Nandita Sirigiri and I represent C Labs, Smart Eco Energy Labs. We all are witnessing lithium-ion battery technology in our electric cars. But
I think we might have, I think the video was on loop there because we still had another 15 seconds. It's always amazing to come in under time. So congratulations. I'm going to hand over to the judges. Who'd like to ask first question?
Can you talk us through the process that you use to be able to convert and repurpose these batteries?
We usually collect the batteries from the suppliers and then disassemble them using the artificial intelligence technology. I mean, we use in bit of every stage, we would be using the updated AI technology for disassembling and screening them, which battery has a more capacity and which battery has battery pack has a lesser capacity, and use the optimized battery pack for the light electric vehicles.
And thanks very much for that pitch. How do you see what you're proposing to do as being different from some of the other companies in the space? I'm thinking Relectrify, but I'm sure there are others too.
Well, there are not a lot of competition regarding repurposing the batteries. Most of the companies that we have, according to our research, are based on recycling the batteries. So in that area, I think we are more ahead.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions, judges?
Yes. So this model, for it to be sustainable, it depends on a large supply of cheap used batteries. So once it gets started, don't you think other competitors will come and this supply of cheap used batteries will go away?
I think the companies that are already working with us would have the trust, and they know that we are the best in making the light electric vehicles affordable. I think that's our leverage.
So if I just have one follow-up question, just to clarify that, but why is it the battery? Why is it the car? What do people do when their EV batteries get old?
So most of the companies, when the EV batteries, because of the regulations, they just go into the landfill. And most of the companies, due to the government regulation, they can't keep up the used battery, so they have to give them away to the landfill or the recycling
Okay,
center.
thank you.
Yep.
Yep. Thank you.
Okay, I think we're at time. So thank you for that, C Labs.
Thank you, Tom.
Well done, Team C Labs. Really well done. Now, Hans and Chris and Mark.
Here we go.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Team Sakoya. Is one of you on a boat today? I remember the stage.
Mark is. No.
Not today. No,
No,
I'm on
no.
terra firma.
Not on a boat today.
I'm stuck in Sydney. Yep.
You're all on mainland, but it's great that you're here. So I just check in with the judges. Judges, are you ready for the next pitch? Yeah, thank you, Ivo. I can see you nodding, and Sarah giving me the thumbs ups. You are such amazing judges. Thank you so much. Sakoil, your 5-minute pitch starts now.
Did you know that 1 litre of oil can dilute and pollute 1 million litres of seawater? Something that twists the gut and hurts the heart when you see an image like the one below. Sadly, this is not only the norm in Australian marinas, this is the norm in commercial marinas around the globe. Boat owners are free to dump their bilge wherever they like. Careless refuelling accidents cause mass ecological disaster. My name is Hans Christian Behrens, and I'm here to talk about our solution, the Suck Oil Marina solution, which revolves around a hydrophobic sponge with patented open and semi-open cell technology that rapidly absorbs oil, the oil reused, the sponge reused, and nothing ends in landfill. We lease reusable oil recovery systems to marinas for $6,000 a year. At the end of its life cycle, the sponge is then refined into graphite and on-sold to the energy industry for $1,500 a tonne. Our solution will be implemented across multiple industries in the future, but we've decided to focus on our beachhead market of the marina industry, a $2.2 million industry that we already have ties with, we can get to, and we can access easily before moving into open water oil remediation from open water spills and pipe bursts, as well as salvaging World War II wreckages of oil in their hulls. We've also got workshop and service stations in our sites, government tenders, and a massive $105 million industry in the mining industry. Suck Oil saves clients $94,000 a year when they implement a Suck Oil Marina solution within their marina. They don't have to spend money on fines, they don't have to spend money on tariffs, and they certainly do not have to clean contaminated water using a very costly system of reverse osmosis. The advantages of the Suck Oil Marina solution are we have international patents pending. Our solution is recyclable. There is zero waste. Nothing ends in landfill. And we have a circular economy. Also, the Suck Oil sponge is 18.5% more absorbent than other products. As you can see on the image at the bottom left, our complete process and leasing options are 100% customizable, as we understand that no two marinas are the same. And as we take you through the circular nature of our economy, you can see the granular cell technology is at the core of the sponge, which is then put in apparatuses and used multiple times. After each use, the oil is removed from the sponge. The oil is sent to recycling centres, then on-sold as waste oil. The product is then returned back to us, which we'll repurpose and put in apparatuses again. And at the end of its life cycle, we refine it into graphite and other products. Suck Oil customers benefit from our lightweight reusable products in 4 key ways, which we found out through interviews conducted with over 100 boat owners and 30 marinas. Our findings are that marinas would in fact embrace a reusable product with a leasing structure. They are looking to reduce waste and cleaning costs of the marina, and our products will mitigate legal and reputational risks for them in this ever-growing concerned environment. Marinas are also looking for ways to invest in their marine ecosystems as they are next to high-value landmarks. By 2026, we'll look to be making $604,800 in that year. One of the interesting things that have come out of this exercise is that material costs will reduce after each use, making these numbers exceptionally conservative. Limited customer base also affects us, as it's not a market that's rapidly expanding, and the unpredictable nature of oil spills is also something to keep in mind. Our environmental impact is what drives us. It's our purpose, our reason for being. 2,160 litres of spilt oil contaminates 2.2 billion litres of water, something that would take 22 million kilowatt hours to rectify using reverse osmosis. This would generate 10 million tonnes of CO2 and equivalents. We negate all this, saving, reducing 10 million tonnes of CO2 and equivalents from ever entering the atmosphere. Also, an additional 1 million tonne reduction in CO2 and equivalents from recycling the captured oil. That's 11 million tonnes using the Suck Oil Marina solution. We're Suck Oil, and it's our dream to clean the world's oceans and waterways more efficiently than ever before. We look to generate $25 million in profit yearly, and we want to eliminate 1 billion tonnes of CO2 and equivalent emissions. Ultimately, it is our dream to leave the planet healthier than we inherited it.
Well done, Team Suck Oil. I still remember that first phone call when we let you know that you're in Climate Launchpad and the excitement, and I'm still so excited about you guys and your innovation.
Thanks,
So,
Tina.
Thanks, Dana.
Thank you.
Judges, are you ready to ask some questions? I can see Ewa nodding. Jackie, are you ready? I want to give everyone a bit space to ask questions. Cool. Okay. On that note, Team Suck Oil, your question and answer starts now.
Yeah, I guess, tremendous pitch, first of all. I see like lots of trademark sort of symbols, and you're referred to as like patent pending. How far down the line are you to getting that approved? Is that just like a provisional registration? And is that like a patent just for Australia?
Mark.
Excellent question, mate. I'll throw you over to our general manager, Mark.
Yeah, so we have now in a provisional patent, that's correct, and it is international. We've actually gone through the 1-year process of the Australian patent already, and then that's where we decided just on before entering the Climate Launchpad competition here that we would go to an international patent.
Great, thank you.
Great pitch, team. Just wanted to ask about the team as well. So if you can just let us know who's in the team and what your sort of expertise are to build a solution.
Absolutely, mate. So we have quite a diverse skill set across the team. We have researchers. There's innovators as well. There's Mark, who's a sea captain of 40 years. Chris is a creative director. I'm a marketing background. We have a head of sustainability. So Mark has assembled a team which we all not only are very driven by what we're doing, we actually enjoy having a beer together as well.
Jackie or Sarah or Ivor, was there anything else you wanted to ask?
Actually, just on the 216 customers that you quoted, is that Australian customers or is that?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
That's 60% of our beachhead market. There's 360 marinas in Australia. As mentioned, they're not rapidly expanding. So 216 is 60% of that market, which is ambitious, but something we're going for.
Great. Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Wondered whether you could talk about your competition a little bit. So you mentioned reverse osmosis, but there are lots of other, people use booms and dispersants and all sorts of weird and wonderful technologies.
Excellent question. I'll throw this over to Mark, who is not only the CEO captain, but is our general manager.
So, yes, thanks for that question. The competitors there are, and the issue with them is that most spill kits are thrown into landfill. So we've worked very hard to find a way of not throwing this in the landfill and repurposing it. The second great advantage that we have over the competitors is that the reusable nature of this. There are some reusable products out there, but their efficiency drops down very quickly, where ours maintains a very strong efficiency, as the slide comes up here, and we can reuse our products so many times. It varies in conditions. Open water conditions, which is our main aim, will be 70 times, 100 times. It's clean water out there apart from the oil, and so yeah, we're very strong.
Thank you, Mark. And I will have to stop you there now. Thank you so much for your wonderful questions, judges. One more. And last but not least, I hand back over to Tom for our final pitch tonight.
Thanks, Sina. Just want to say, though, the BP Deepwater Horizon oil spill, geez, you guys would have made a mozza back then.
Here we go. Yep.
Yeah, no, I'm going to leave it at that, but great work. Hey, look, like Sina said, last but not least, we've got something really exciting here. We've got Allegro Energy. They are here for the last pitch, 5 minutes, 3 minutes question and answer. And then after that, the judges are going to deliberate to figure out who the top three are, but also who's going to take away that 50K. So over to you, Allegro.
Yeah, thanks, Tom. We are Allegro Energy, and we sell clean, green, safe, and cheap energy storage solutions that are water-based and also compatible with the circular economy. My name is Thomas Nan, and I'm the CEO of Allegro Energy. The energy storage solutions that we sell find applications in many, many areas, pretty much spanning from the Internet of Things over electric mobility to large grid-level storage. But we've identified the mining industry as a promising beachhead market. We expect to earn about $50 to $100 per kilowatt hour energy storage sold. At the center of our technology is something called supercapacitors. So supercapacitors are a bit like batteries. What you can see on this slide is a market research on the current supercapacitor market, based, of course, on current technology. So it's forecast that this market will grow at a rate of about 25% to a size of about $17 billion in 5 years' time. However, our supercapacitors are much, much cheaper than current technology, and we expect that this will increase the market size by a factor of 10 to 100. Initially, we target a $100 million segment in our beachhead market, and we expect that in 5 years' time, we cover pretty much half of that market. On this slide, you see the calculation for the cost of storage for a specific use case. So this use case is this bus here in Belgrade that runs on supercaps. And just by the way, our tram here in Newcastle also runs entirely on supercaps. So if this bus were to be powered with lead-acid batteries, it would cost about $80 per megawatt hour. With lithium-ion batteries, 40, and with current supercap technology, 37. If our electro supercaps would be installed in that bus, this cost would drop to less than $1 per megawatt hour. Our supercaps are game-changing and different because I already mentioned they're much, much cheaper than current technology. They show the same or even better performance. They're safe, non-flammable, non-toxic, and even the manufacturing is clean and green and leaves a much smaller carbon footprint. Last but not least, we've got a really strong IP position. We spoke to more than 40 potential customers. Among those were the big mining companies such as BHP and Rio Tinto, but also mining suppliers and other companies that are connected to this industry. Our key assumptions were that customers actually want safe and non-toxic energy storage solutions, especially in light of the recent incident in Geelong. We also assume that corporate social responsibility and a circular economy are very strong incentives, and that cost is the main driver to buy our products. What we learned is that end users want off-the-shelf solutions, that there are actually multiple drivers for most of them: clean, green, safe, cheap, and we can deliver on all of those. Last but not least, we learned that electrification is a pressing need in the mining industry, and that most of the large mining companies have already committed to zero carbon targets as soon as 2030. In 5 years' time, we will earn $7 million. What's interesting about our market is that it's a very conservative market, so we have to be creative to break into this market. Also, it's a large market, so we have to scale very, very rapidly to meet the demands and the needs of that market. Key drivers for us are the cost to make our products, the market itself, and the market share that we can address. The mining industry is crucial in transitioning to a renewable economy. They provide things like lithium, cobalt, rare earth elements that are all needed in, for example, electrical vehicles and batteries. However, this industry is responsible for 17% of Australia's greenhouse gas emissions. So in 5 years' time, when we have helped half of this industry to electrify, our technology will be responsible for a reduction of carbon dioxide emissions of 9 million tons per year. In addition to that, as already mentioned, the manufacturing of our devices also has a much smaller carbon footprint. As a team, we dream of making the world carbon neutral as quickly as we can. For our company, we aim at a net valuation of $100 million in 5 years' time, and ultimately global domination in the supercapacitor market. I'm the CEO of Allegra Energy. My co-founders Fraser and Rohan look after the tech and the science, and Paul Howdle has joined us to help us with strategy and commercialization. Thank you very much.
Thomas, some pretty impressive commercials there when it comes to that business case for your product.
Thank you.
But I'm not here to ask the questions. That's up to the judges. So who'd like to go first?
Well, I'm happy to ask a question. I just feel like I've been talking too much.
It's all yours, Sarah. Go for it.
Yeah. Thanks, Thomas. So when you go talk to the potential customers, what are the barriers to them adopting?
You were dropping out, but I just repeat so that I understand you were asking about the barriers to adopting our technology. Yeah, okay. To be quite honest, there are not really many barriers. The main barrier is probably for us to produce enough of it, because in terms of performance, and it's pretty much the same like current technology, and we are much, much cheaper. So what could go wrong?
Hi, Thomas.
I like your...
Sorry, Sarah. Hi, Thomas. Thank you very much for your pitch. Interesting that you comment, like you refer to that you can gain 50% market share by 2027, but yet in your previous slide, you said there is rather sort of large barriers to entry and you have to be rather creative to enter into the market. What do you mean by being creative to enter into the market?
What we have learned when we talk with the mining industry is that they are not very adventurous. They want proven products. They want things that have been on the market for 10 years or longer because they are very, very risk adverse. So I think the answer to that question is that we are not dealing directly with the big mining companies, but that we are mainly focusing the peripheral companies like the mining suppliers. And we actually are already in negotiations with some of these companies that are not that conservative and that are building these products, these off-the-shelf products that the mining industry can then adopt.
Great. And so my next question is, how far away are you to a product market fit?
So we are currently at the stage where we have validated and proven our devices in the lab, and we are trying to achieve minimum viable product in 6 months or so.
Great. Thank you.
Okay. Pretty much it at time there. So great work, Thomas and our team at Allegro.
Fantastic work, everyone. Teams, you've been absolutely amazing. Great job, Thomas, once again. And judges, thank you so much. You've been amazing. Great questions, really on time and filling in your scorecards at the same time. So what we do now is we relieve you, and you are allowed to go back into your breakout room and have a discussion that please will only last between 20 and 30 minutes. We once had a regional final where the judges decided to deliberate for 1.5 hours. We will not let you go that far. So you have 20 to 30 minutes now to deliberate. Jess will send you off into the breakout room, and we will actually going to engage with the audience a little bit more. We have some audience awards coming up. So you lovely people out there, hang in there. It's your turn soon. But before we get there, I would like to invite the CEO of the FBI CRC, Stedman Ellis, to come and take the mic and talk a little bit about the sponsorship and also give us a bit of an insight into the FBI CRC's work.
Thank you, Sina. It's after listening to those pitches, I've been Googling what it takes to do the worm dance, but I don't think I'm up to that. But it's impressive, and it does. It's only 2 years ago that our Cooperative Research Centre was in a pitch bid to the Commonwealth Government, which ultimately we secured $25 million to establish our centre. I'm glad that some of the competition I've watched tonight wasn't making a pitch as well. It was very impressive. Our Cooperative Research Centre brings together about 70 industry, government and research partners who all have a presence at different parts of the battery industry value chain. We provide a platform to them to really share ideas and capture the opportunities really for Australia to play a role or play its part in building sustainable energy systems and unlocking economic value for local industries. The work of the ClimateLaunchpad, as I think we've seen in these pitches, really speaks quite directly to our desire to help Australia go global in the coming battery boom and the importance of having an entrepreneurial ecosystem. So really impressed by what I've heard and really encouraged by the work that Climate Kick is doing to facilitate the growth of this part of the ecosystem. In terms of what we're doing with the money that the Commonwealth and our industry and research partners have invested in us, we're looking across the value chain and we've developed a portfolio of projects which really look at common challenges and opportunities, which range from mining of battery minerals to processing to manufacture to the deployment of batteries safely and environmentally sensitively in our grids, in our homes and in off-grid situations, and also looking at the reuse and recycling of batteries as part of the circular economy. If we do this well, it's clear we'll add significant economic value to Australia. The most recent report we released was by consulting firm Accenture, which estimated that if Australia was to pursue a more diversified battery industry, go beyond our strengths in mining, by 2030 we'd have an industry valued at $7.4 billion a year, employing 34,000 people. The work we're doing is also important for another reason that some of the presenters touched on. For all of us who've looked at the most recent report released by the International Panel on Climate Change, it's clear that a technology-led approach to a sustainable energy system is just critical, both in making the in helping make the energy transition work and in creating jobs and economic opportunity. So in summary, we're very proud to be a supporter of the Climate Launchpad. I was impressed by the individuals and the organisations we saw present to us. They're all outstanding to have reached a final of this in this way. I'd acknowledge the work, the ideas they've developed, the demonstration they've made of understanding market, innovation and technology and what they're applying. It's very impressive. I'd also like to acknowledge the work of a number of our employees and directors, including Sarah Ryan, who is sitting in the judging panel tonight. You indicated Sarah's CV. She has the credentials to be, I think, a very good judge, but I don't envy her challenge tonight. But I'd also acknowledge all our other staff, other directors who've played a role as mentor and judges in this process. So my congratulations to Climate Kick, my particular congratulations for the teams and the work they did to present these pictures. It was very impressive. My congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Stedman.
Dina, doesn't the FBI CRC, it's just got some amazing things ahead of it. And the work that you're doing is great. Like, I just love how much of a focus is taking place right now on building better and more efficient batteries, but also just how they can be handled better at end of life and ultimately give them a second life. So it's amazing, and it's great to see. I can't wait to see, I guess, more and more innovation that stems in this space and what really comes out of the CRC. So great work. Thank you, Stedman. Audience, it's now your turn. You've been patiently sitting there listening to these amazing pictures, but gee, these virtual things can make you feel a little bit left out. And so while the judges are deciding on their winners, it's your turn to share who you think your favorites were. Now, we've got a few different audience votes coming up, and they'll be put up on the screen as to how you can vote. Just get your phones or your laptops out now. Go to slido.com. It's SLIDO.com. And yeah, you should see it on your screen now. Scan the QR code, or look, this one's pretty short, SLIDO.com, and enter the event code CLP21. Stands for Climate Launchpad 21. These awards that we're about to, I guess, get you a little bit excited on and get your input on, they actually mean a lot to these amazing startups that have been pitching tonight. And they're also a bit of fun. So while I'm talking, make sure that you're going to slido.com, because we're going to be asking for your input really soon. So the 4 categories of awards tonight. The first one, it's called the Pitch Monster. Now, we've had some amazing pitches tonight, and the pitch monster, that's what the ClimateLaunchpad trainer always talks about. He says the pitch monster is that person, that team with the slickest, most impressive pitch. So that'll be the first one that you'll vote for tonight. Secondly, we've got who's got the coolest tech. Now, there's been some great technology out there, and tech isn't always something that's on your phone or on your computer. So vote for who you think has the coolest tech for the Coolest Tech Award. Thirdly, we have what I'm starting to call the KFC Award, but it's because it's called the Shut Up and Take My Money. Who would you throw down your cash for right now? Whose solution would you buy if it was right in front of you? Or if you could invest in their business, who would you invest in? So that is the Shut Up and Take My Money Award. And finally, who is most likely to unicorn? Now, for those of you who don't know what the term unicorn means in this essence, a unicorn is a company that reaches a $1 billion valuation. It's a startup founder's dream. When you look at the likes of some of Australia's most successful tech companies, you hear of Atlassian, worth more than Qantas. You hear of Canva. You hear of Safety Culture. You hear of all of these others. That is what a unicorn is. And we want to see more and more clean tech's unicorn. So who you think is the most likely startup to unicorn, vote that way. So hopefully by now, everyone's had a chance to log into slido.com, put in CLP21 as the code, and get ready because we're about to start voting. If you haven't seen anything come up on your screen yet, don't worry. It's just about to. So we're ready to go, and we're going to give you about 20 to 30 seconds to answer each question, to vote, I should say, to vote for each of these awards. So Jess, please launch the first poll. So the first one, who is Hans's pitch monster? Who are you worried about getting stuck in an elevator with because they are just going to pitch you, and by the time you actually even just reach the first floor, they were so great, so convincing that you just went, hey, you guys are the best. Your pitch is the best. Vote now. Jess, how are we going? Are the votes coming in?
The votes are coming in thick and fast. We'll give them another 15 seconds.
Fantastic.
Just note there's a little, maybe 10-second delay between us and the live stream.
Oh, well, there we go. So we'll give them another 20 seconds then. I've got my thoughts on who the pitch monster was. There's actually a few of them that are on my list. I've been taking notes. But I'm not going to share that. I don't want to influence anyone's vote. Okay. Next up, audience vote number 2. Who had the cleanest tech? Sorry, not the cleanest. I think they're all pretty clean. The coolest tech. And again, remember, it doesn't have to be an app. We think about tech being an app, a website, something like that. It could be something that's not, but who did you think had the coolest solution today? Jess, can you see who the votes are coming into? I'm actually getting a little bit on the edge of my seat here.
Yeah, I can see.
Oh, you can.
No spoilers.
No, I'm not asking for a spoiler. Okay, we'll give it another 10 seconds. Okay. Award number 3 from the audience. The Shut Up and Take My Money Award. So again, this is the one that you would think, the startup that you would think, if you could buy their product right now, if you could invest, if you had money to invest and you could invest in that business right now, which one would it be? I just want to make sure that the Climate Launchpad teams, I'm checking them out. They're all sitting back having a drink after that pitch, feeling probably pretty relieved. Just want to make sure I'm not seeing any phones in their hands and there's no voting from them, which is good to see. Everyone's being pretty honest here. Okay, next up, the last award. Who do you think is the startup that is most likely to unicorn? And again, what's a unicorn? It's the business that you think is most likely to be valued over $1 billion. The business that really puts Australia on the global map when it comes to helping solve climate change. And the revenue model to really ramp that up and hit that valuation. They say unicorns are mythical creatures and they don't exist, but the great thing is they're starting to out of this country. We're seeing quite a few of them.
Can we vote for greener in the Slido?
Look, I'd love it if you'd add them up. Could you put them in the Shut Up and Take My Money piece? Because we're capital raising right now. And on that, just for every startup here that has just pitched, once you sort of get through this whole process and take your idea to the next level, raising money is a non-stop thing for a startup founder. So it's a wild ride. How are we doing there, Jess? We good? Fantastic. So the votes are in. I think we will be announcing the answers to that later on. I can't wait to see who won a few of those. So Sina, I'm going to pass to you.
Awesome. Thanks so much for leading us through the audience awards, Tom. That was fun to watch. I didn't vote, but I can't wait to see who is taking away those awards. So,
which one are you most excited about, Sina?
Oh, my lips are sealed.
No, not the startup. Which award?
Oh, which award? Okay. Look, I really like the Unicorn Award. I think people are always very honest about that one. And yeah, personally, if I was in your shoes right now, I would want to win the Shut Up and Take My Money for sure. Yeah. All right. So it's actually my pleasure to invite another one of our wonderful alumni to the mic, and that is Naomi Tashish. And Naomi was part of one of the first Climate Launchpad cohorts back then in South Australia. And since then, she's been kicking goals with her startup, Replated. And Naomi will just share a little bit about her journey so far and her experience. And then we will have a bit of a chat with Naomi and learn from you. And I can't wait for that. So Naomi, over to you. And thanks so much for making time and joining us today.
Thank you, Sina. It's such a pleasure to be here and not to be under any pressure. Did you know that Australians eat 4.5 million takeaway meals every single day? And every time that we go into lockdown, that number grows. Ooh, my screen doesn't want to work. Hey. I have been a waste warrior my whole life. I started out picking up rubbish on the beaches of Sydney when I was a kid. And I found I was back on those same beaches, picking up that same rubbish with my own children. And it was then that I realized that I needed to take action if I wanted to see a difference. behavior change is something that's really hard to fix. And that's why we don't just make amazing circular reusable products, we also design reuse systems that can genuinely replace single use. My journey as a startup founder began with ClimateLaunchpad. And I guess the thing, coming out, winning a state final was great, but I came to the nationals, and like quite a few people here tonight, I didn't win. And I guess what I wanted to say is that everybody's launchpad might be the same, but your rocket ship is really different. And what you're building here today has the potential, if you believe in yourself and you keep backing yourself, it has the potential to go somewhere. So for me, there's been a lot of downs, but there's also been some ups, and we've had a really fantastic year this year. Went back one. We've had some incredible recognition. We became a B Corp earlier this year, and we were recognised as top 5% B Corp for a company of our size for the environment. As a business that's circular by design, so we've designed circularity into every part of our business. That's something I'm incredibly proud of. And we also, off that, won a Circle Award earlier this year, and an award for sustainability from the University of New South Wales. All of which I'm really proud of. There are a lot of upsides, and we've been working really hard to build a business that is, that does what it says. There's a lot of greenwashing out there, and this certification is really such an honour, and we were completely surprised by the B Corp one particularly. I also wanted to make a little announcement. These are our containers. We're actually relaunching a new formulation for our product in the next couple of months. And these are our beautiful new colours, Danish blue and blueberry smoothie. And they're made here in Australia, actually on Sydney's northern beaches, from fully recycled plastic, and they last at least 2 years under pretty heavy duty conditions. We also, I talked about the systems really quickly. The first one, I actually had takeaway with my family tonight on delivered replated containers, which is really something that we've been able to do through this lockdown, which is super exciting. So we're sponsored by a grant from Waverley Council, and we've got really great feedback across, people across the area. And we're also rolling out across 2 other council areas in the next couple of months, which is really, really exciting. But I guess that's the bigger picture. But for us, the core of our business and where we began is our BYO. So it's like a reusable coffee cup for containers. So even if you buy out of a swap program, you can still use it as BYO. We also work with a lot of corporates, and I've got a couple of them up on. From LinkedIn, some of the, I guess not testimonials, but people talking about what they're doing. And it's really exciting how we're rolling it out. We've got a network of over 150 food partners, and we're expecting that to explode in the next couple of months as we do this, as the new containers start to roll out. And I guess for us, I didn't want to do too big a pitch. I think you've all heard enough pitches, but if you find that interesting and you do want to get involved, or you want to buy some new containers, you can follow us on Instagram at Replated, and on replated.co you can sign up for announcements. And that's me. So thank you for having me.
Hey, Naomi, sorry. That's fantastic. I love that visual at the start of your pitch, just you standing there with all of that around you, isn't it? It's just crazy.
Not me, though.
It's not you?
That's an ABC journalist from War on Waste. I shamelessly take my pictures from the internet. It's not my rocket ship either.
Well, I'm pretty sure it wasn't your rocket ship, but she did have long, wavy hair. So, hey, look, we're going to have a bit of a chat just so the audience knows, just to talk about your journey. And I think what you've done is incredible since ClimateLaunchpad. And like you said, you didn't come first, but look at where you've gotten to and some of the great brands that you're working with. And I want to talk a bit about the B Corp piece in a moment, because that is just such an amazing achievement that you've really seen this year. But before we do, I'm keen to understand, we're talking ClimateLaunchpad. All of these startups have just gone through this intense boot camp, and that was years ago for you. What's, I guess, lessons from ClimateLaunchpad and that boot camp do you find yourself continually coming back to and, I guess, focusing on, even though you're years on from the program?
Look, I think one of the things that happens is, they always say when you hit research is one thing, but when you hit the market with a product, things will always change. And I think there's a point at which, Climate Launchpad is a lot of it is theoretical, but the two things that I think massively, or not even two, but everything was amazing. Hans is without any question the best trainer I've had from a startup perspective.
You sort of wish he was here to MC so everyone could see what he's like, because he is this crazy man, but isn't he he pressures you and makes you, he's fantastic.
But it's also like when so at the moment, one of the things that will happen as we roll out the swap and wash nationally, and we look at the tech stack for that, it's really about, will we changing the business model? And as we've been doing that work, it's like I have him in my head just going, follow the money. Like how do you, and you go, well, how do I develop that? And he, the way that he looks at it, the lens that he looks at it really is such a strong economic focus, because I think most people come into this process with a degree of idealism. Or they're coming from academia and they've got really strong technical skills, and actually turning that around and saying, well, how do I make a really viable business? Because that business will change. You might add new products, or you might need to change your business model, whatever that is. And I think those lessons really will stick with you through whatever you do. That's probably, he's such a character as well. I had such a good time, and it really gave me confidence. I think the one thing I would say is that, Climate Launchpad gave me the confidence to keep going. I was very much idea stage, and it took a while, like developing our products. We manufacturing, that takes time. Everyone said to me it would take 2 years, and it did.
They're cool looking products too, by the way. It's not just some, another. So often people try and put a product in market and it just doesn't, in this space, and it doesn't look great. I think that looks really good. But you're right. One thing that Hans said to me and says to everyone, you come into this competition thinking it's all about impact. And yes, the outcome is impact. But if you don't have a really lucrative, sustainable business model, people aren't going to invest. You won't get the scale and you won't get to that impact. So I think it's a really important lesson. And I guess I'm really glad that you mentioned it, because it's pretty similar to what we do as well. It's one of those lessons that you keep coming back to. But if impact is at the core of your business, fantastic.
Yeah, look, impact is still at the core of our business, and it has driven every decision that we've made. And, one of the things with the B Corp, as well as we have an impact business model. So, anyone whose business model is around impact, it is a lot easier to certify. So I found that process insanely enjoyable. I had a great intern working with me, who was an environmental science graduate. It's quite a gamified experience, and we had a lot of fun with it. I don't know if that's, when I speak to other people, they didn't enjoy it as much as us. So maybe we just like point scoring, but it was a really good experience, and it really allowed me to create a structure, not just for the environment, but also, we've done really well in one category, but there's also work we've got to do with our people, with our customers, to really be the best in society in general. So it's that, how can we be better on every single level that we're working? And I love that I've got a framework that, to work within, to build my company to be the best thing it can be.
Yeah, exactly. And for those of you who don't know what B Corp is, that are watching on, effectively it's a global accreditation or certification, and it is not easy to earn. You've got to get over a certain number of points in this points-based system. And it's not just answer however you want. There's deep auditing and everything. And as Naomi said, it covers a lot of different facets: environment, how you treat your people, and so on. And it really is, I think there's only a few hundred here in Australia, but it's starting to gain momentum, which is incredible. But one thing that I want to ask you, Naomi, you guys got B Corp status recently. I think you said this year.
Yes, in March.
But you were then awarded in the top, and this wasn't on your slide, but I've done a bit of research. You were awarded in the top 5% of B Corps globally in the environmental space. Yes. Mate, that is a massive, massive achievement. And again, I don't think those that don't know what B Corp is, it's not easy just to become a B Corp, let alone be in the top 5%. Can you share just a few of your secrets? We're going through a B Corp certification right now, and we've passed the first stage, but we're about to go through our interviews. I want to learn how to follow your lead.
Well, look, I think the B Corp people are amazing. They're very much on your side as you go through that process. And it's not, I think there's a few things. We are a business that designed ourselves to be circular from the ground up. So we use a recycled material for our products. Our products replace one of the worst culprits of single use in life. And then at end of life, we take our products back and we turn them into new things. So we recycle them ourselves and remanufacture ourselves. And I think that kind of those principles are really strong founding principles when, at least in that category where we really are walking the walk and talking the talk and doing the things that you're supposed to do and talking about that. So I also talk about radical transparency. We talk to what we're doing. We talk to our materials and our processes in a really, I guess, a more open way. And I think that those things definitely help. The idea of secrecy, I think, is in some ways, part of the problem sometimes. Like you have to be willing to be open and to be audited. And also because with our impact, so for our business customers, we give them impact reports on the impact they have. We understand our impact and what that is, so we can easily gather that, I guess, and report on it to B Corp or whoever else we need to.
Yeah, it's a great way to put it because, and this is the thing, so many of the impact-led, well, they're all impact-led that come out of ClimateLaunchpad, but so many of them have done it from the start. That is what is embedded into the DNA of these businesses. And when it's real, some of these things aren't that hard. When we told people that we passed B Corp certification in our early stage, passed the initial screening, they were shocked. But again, if it's embedded into your business, like you said, if you're totally transparent around it, then you're doing the right things from the start, which is great. Before I want to give the judges a little bit more time to deliberate. So I guess what I'd like to ask you is, what is the single best piece of advice that you would give to any early stage startup, especially these guys in the room who have worked so hard that are looking for an investment pathway or investment or just a pathway for opportunities? You've come from here and you've gone to where you're at. What's that single piece of advice that you would give to them?
Look, I think there is, to some degree, the ability to getting back up when you have a disappointment is probably the most important thing that I think I've had. I put all those awards up there, but there's plenty of things I hadn't won anything up until this year. I'd been a finalist in Taronga's Hatch Accelerator last year. I didn't win. I didn't win ClimateLaunchpad nationally, and there are a host of other things I didn't win as well. And I think what's hard, I think at the beginning I used to take it really personally, I guess, because you put your heart and soul into this and a lot of belief, and you think, you put everything into that. And I think what's different, I guess, now is if you think about a business as something that's going to be around for a long time, all these small setbacks are just part of the journey. They're part of the story. And hopefully one day a really funny anecdote about hey, I'm a unicorn now, but I didn't win ClimateLaunchpad, or whatever that is. But know what you want your story to be and just keep working towards that and not to get too set back by the setbacks.
Totally. And I don't want to drag it down around what we're all doing, because we're all working so hard to do amazing things for the planet. But just to draw a quick parallel there, you hear the saying, gamblers only talk about their wins, not their losses. And quite often you feel like the successful businesses are a little bit like that as well. Those that started from zero and went really well. And it's not necessarily because they're trying to be misleading, but you just hear about the wins. You don't hear about the losses. And, it's funny. My girlfriend says to me quite often, that's okay. Everything's going to be okay. Just remember that one. It's going to go in the book. Because it's you, me, all of us, and those that are going to continue, everyone on the call tonight who's going to take their business to the next level and persevere. It's not easy. It is one of the hardest things you'll do. And people always say that coming into a startup, it's not going to be easy, but until you've lived it, you don't know. But yeah, I'm sure your book is going to be quite big or quite long, I should say. And it's not just about those awards, but really getting up every time that you get knocked down.
Yeah, it's like you've got to be comfortable with that. There is going to be some rejection and things that you don't win or you don't achieve, but that shouldn't well, no, I mean, you shouldn't let it stop you. And certainly to get up and keep trying is really the most important thing. And you know who I actually heard that from first, I should say? It was actually Melanie Perkins, who's the CEO and founder of Canva. And I think she did something like, it was like in the hundreds of meetings before she got a yes. So, you know, that perseverance is a really good one to remember.
I was so glad you share that, because, and hearing it from someone like Melanie Perkins, Canva, a unicorn, hearing it from those that are, you know, it's incredible, because it just gives everyone, spurs them on when the times are tough. But look, congratulations on all the amazing things you've been doing. I'm sure there's so much more to come, and we can't wait to continue to follow your journey and just see more awards popping up, but more importantly, less single-use plastics, less single-use, I guess, containers going to landfill or even recycling. Why recycle when you don't need to?
Definitely. I think the feeling that you get when you can get delivery on a reusable is a pretty good one. And I would really love to be able to bring that to everybody around Australia in the not too distant future.
Fantastic. Well, for those of you who want to follow that, I think it was replated.co.
Replated.co is our website, and we are Replated on Instagram. We're also on LinkedIn as well.
Guys, follow, check it out, use it. If you really mean what, you know, if you really want a brighter future for the planet, if you want to help stop climate change, it's about following and using great products like that. So replated.co and Replated on Instagram. Go for it.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks for having me.
Great to see you. Sina, I get to see you, I think.
Thank you, Tom, and thank you, Naomi. What a wonderful discussion, and what incredible insights. And Naomi, yeah, once again, congratulations. Really being in the top 5% of B Corps globally in the environmental space. What an achievement. And thanks for sharing a little bit about your journey getting there. And the same for you, Tom. Sharing about your journey, and also, you know, being vulnerable and saying, look, it's not just up, it's sometimes also down, and there are pitfalls, but you keep going. And both of you are incredible entrepreneurs who do exactly that. So we are incredibly proud of you. Before we move on, I would like to give you the opportunity, if there's anything you would like to put forward to our audience. Are there any sign-up lists for Greener or Replated that you would like to put in the chat for the audience to check out? Then I think Jess is giving me the thumbs up. We have already done that. So audience.
Oh, you've done that? Fantastic. Well, look, for those of you, I'll tell you a little bit about Greener quickly. Sina, how are the judges going?
That's fine. You know, judges, they happy about every minute. So
they want the time? Okay.
If you want to give us a spin on Greener, and then we do the audience awards.
Fantastic. Look, guys, I'm not here to plug what we're doing, but we're actually really proud of what we're doing, so I'm going to share it. Ultimately, Greener, we have an app that helps people shop green for everything they buy, then turns their purchase carbon neutral to help end climate change. But what's more exciting is what's been happening of late. And we really shine a light on businesses that are doing better things for the planet and guide people to them to start with. And off the back of that, we're no longer building an app. It's part of it, but we're not building an app. We're building a new economy, a green economy, one where brands that are really serious about helping end climate change are joining it, bringing their customers into this economy and making sure every dollar they spend is carbon neutral to help solve this problem. And we're really excited about that. We've just signed some major deals. T2, the tea company, one of Unilever's most, I guess it's the jewel in the crown of their sustainability crown. We've just signed up with them. They've got over 800,000 customers, I believe. And they're now going to be adding Greener as part of their loyalty program to all of their customers. We've signed over 45 commercial arrangements for partners that want to be part of the green economy. We've got great brands, Microsoft's, and you know, so many, PowerShop, Lego, all of these partners are now coming together to do just that. And just recently we signed we've won, I guess, a pilot with Bupa, which is one of the greener health insurers out there. And if all things go well, we can potentially get greener into the hands of their 4 million members, which would take the equivalent of 2 million cars, 9 million cars off the road. So we're really excited. If you'd like to play with it, it's still in beta. And this is just what I'm talking about. We won Climate Launchpad 2 years ago, but we've persevered, we've pivoted, we've gone different directions, but we always apply the same rules of test with your customers, learn, test, what have you. If you'd like to play with the beta, it's clunky. We're the first to say it, but we're looking to launch this green economy next year. Go to getgreener.com and sign up for the wait list. Actually, don't do that. Special offer for our friends tonight. Go to getgreener.com/priority and you'll get straight through and you won't have to wait list. But we're really excited about what we're doing. And like I said, we really think that we could bring the scale. If this green economy just here in Australia took off, we could help take the equivalent of 58 million cars off the road. And to put that into context, that is 3 times the amount of cars on the road here in the country right now. So yeah, check it out. We'd love you to. But enough about that. I think it's time to reveal the audience awards.
Yes.
Jess, are we good to do it?
Tom, I'm so glad you got an opportunity to also talk a bit about Greener, because you have been incredibly supportive of Climate Launchpad and of our team, and we really appreciate that. And now, yeah, let's see what our audience thinks. Who is the pitch monster, the coolest tech? Who should shut up and just take our money? And who is most likely to unicorn? Tom, back to you. You've done it so well. You talk.
Oh, come on, Tina. Let's do it together. We'll go one for one.
Right,
I'm going first.
You start.
The winner of the audience winner, I should say, of Pitch Monster is Congratulations, guys. I loved the pitch. I loved the product and I loved the impact.
Oh, thank you.
C-Labs. Sorry, I stole that one from you, Sina, but great work, C-Labs. Sina, you're next. Great work. Fantastic effort.
Which one do I get, Jess?
I think you're up. Shall
yeah, that's my favorite. Come on. So, who should just shut up and take our money? Congratulations, team. And last but not least, most likely to unicorn. Who is us? Well done, teams.
Guys, fantastic effort, everyone. And that is just the precursor. The thing is, though, while what we're about to hear from the judges is super important and so credible, they're experts in their field, there's only a few of them. That just came in from all of the audience. So congratulations, those that won an award there, because it really shows that there's appetite for what you're doing.
Absolutely, Tom. I always love audience awards. I think they're very honest and real. I'm just getting word from the judges that they need a little bit longer. Some decisions were made and others are still heavily discussed. So what I would...
I'm guessing, Sina, I'm guessing the heavily discussed one is the 50K. What do you reckon?
It might already be decided.
We don't know. That could be a game changer.
Actually, Tom, now I'm getting really excited because I've just heard that they are returning now and they have made their decisions and they're on their way. So they
Hang on. I'm a little bit worried that they're coming in straight off the back of the audience vote then. Do you think they're going to follow their lead?
I reckon they just hang in there, watch the audience awards, and now they come in and, pretend they've done all the work.
Some judges, yep, okay. No, I'm sure they wouldn't have. These judges are incredible. And for those of you, while they're coming in, for those of you who haven't checked them out on LinkedIn, because some of the judges that we're seeing tonight are people that I've been following. That they're going to think I'm a bit of a creep, I guess. They don't know it, but I've been following their journey because they do such amazing things.
Absolutely, Tom. I can only, really support that statement. And teams, make sure that you reach out to our judges. And on that note, judges, welcome back. Thank you so much for your time. I heard you have passionately discussed and gave your very best. You've been an amazing group of judges. We are so grateful to have each of you here and helping us to push those top 3 winners into the next level. And I'm just looking at our teams, and what I can see is like lots of wiggling. So Sarah, may I ask you to unmute yourself and just share a little bit about the judging process without announcing the 3 winners. We will bring up a bit of a slide and then you can lead us to the point where we can announce them, please.
Sarah, if you're on mute, maybe unmute. Especially if you're fine. This is worse than watching The Bachelor or one of Australian Idol and understanding who's going to win. It's a massive cliffhanger.
I'm sorry, Sarah. Are you building the? Where are you? I'm wondering.
Hey, Sina, the judges are just coming back into the main session now.
Okay, thanks, Sarah.
Sorry about the delay.
Thanks, Jess. That's okay. So we're waiting a little bit longer. And Sarah didn't. Okay. Is Sarah here? Sarah, there you are. Can you hear me? Sorry, we've been talking to you for the last minute, and you were just joining back. Sarah, we were just saying, are you ready to share a little bit about the judging process with us, and just leading us to the point where we can announce those top 3 teams that will move into the Southeast Asian finals without naming them yet?
No, it's all good.
Perfect. Over to you.
Yes. Oh, are we all waiting for me? This is exciting.
Yes. Sorry, Sarah. We're just going to put you on the spot. Can you tell us a little bit about the judging, the deliberation process, and lead us to the announcements of those top 3 teams moving into the next final without revealing their names yet, because we have something prepared.
Yes, thank you, Sina. Yes, and now for the big moment. So on behalf of the other judges, I must say we've had a really challenging and interesting conversation over the last little while after hearing everyone's pitches. We all felt that the standard was excellent. Everybody was very clear and enthusiastic and very, very committed to changing the world, which is wonderful to see. We found the ideas all innovative and really interesting and covered an enormous range of subjects and aspects. And it was a very difficult decision for us to make. Luckily, we only had to choose 3 if we had to choose, and that was very difficult. If we'd had to choose one, we would have been here for hours and hours and hours because everybody was so excellent. And I'll say for the final 3 that we chose, what we liked about them is each of them had clearly identified an issue or something that they were going to address, and they had a really interesting and clear way of addressing this with a solution or a product or something like that. And they covered off, as well as the technology aspects of the clean tech, climate change world, is they covered off the human aspects as well. So how humans and technology and the way we live and the way we work sort of all work together. So with that, I'm very happy to hand back to the team to announce the winners.
Woodify, C Labs, and Whirl, congratulations. Would you like to unmute yourselves and say a couple words?
No,
we're on the tops there it's not alphabetical order, but thank you. Oh, wow, it's amazing. Thank you. We're just so happy. I won't say anything else, but it's been a wonderful experience, and we've enjoyed every single moment of it, whether win or lose. And what a fantastic cohort of fantastic ideas. I think every single team deserves to be able to move forward with their ideas and to see success. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. And C Labs and Whirl, would you like to say a couple words?
Yes, absolutely. We are thrilled. This was beyond exciting, and it's been such a wonderful evening presenting and hearing from everyone. I'm speechless, so thank you.
And C Labs.
I thank you and congratulations for other winners as well. And all the ideas were great. To be honest, it came as surprising for us, and we are just speechless. We are very shocked actually. And congratulations for others as well.
Wonderful. So let's Usman, could I ask you to please take the mic and tell us a little bit about the Catalyzer Mentorship Prize and award that prize to your team of choice?
Thank you very much. Thanks, Sina. And I also just wanted to say that, I had a great time just listening to all your pitches, and regardless of the outcome tonight, all of you have done a fantastic job and would really love to see the impact that you create beyond today. So in terms of Catalyzer Mentorship Prize, the goal is to really work with you initially to have some conversations and see, how I personally, but also Catalyzer can help in helping you with the commercialization journey. So we'll sort of book in a time and then catch up and see what that looks like. And then once we've done that, then it could sort of go into a few different directions. So I could connect you with investors, could connect you with sort of experts, and also help you on that journey. And Sina, do you want me to announce the prize here as well, or do you want to do that yourself?
I think we will do the drum roll and the fireworks again. Just go ahead.
Great. So the winner is C Labs. And the reason why is because, all the companies, again, are fantastic. And again, if you need any help, any support with, as I said, various different hats on, I'm very happy to help everyone who's pitched tonight. So feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn, but also Sina can give you my email address. And for CLAS particularly, because I see the potential of the work that you're doing, and I'm originally from Pakistan, but also have connections in India and Bangladesh and other sort of places like that as well. And so I see there's a lot of potential, with that urban mobility, particularly in the developing world. So would love to sort of work with you and see how I can support.
Thank you so much. And for all your work you're doing for migrapreneurs. We appreciate you and your work so much, and thanks for joining us. And congratulations, C Labs, once again. I can only imagine.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sina.
Thank you for all the support.
Nandita, would you like to say a couple of words before we move on?
Thank you so much for the Climate Launchpad and all the team of Climate Launchpad. You guys have been very supportive from the start. We actually we had a passion, we had an idea, but we didn't know what to do with it. And the Climate Launchpad has been the best platform for that. And we really enjoyed we enjoyed as well as we learned a lot, and we were really passionate about the idea because we know me and my teammate Neha, we come from India and we see the lots of trouble that the people are going through climate change, and we wanted to make a difference. And thank you, Usman, as well for the kind words. I'm really glad that you come from the area where you can understand the severity of the problem. And I'm speechless that we got the grant, and yeah, we are really looking forward for working towards the solution.
Nandita, just quickly, you haven't received the grant. You have been put in the top 3, and you're moving into the Southeast Asian regional final, and you have won the mentor prize with Usman at Catalyzer. But we catch up on that again. But
all right.
Again. So we're gonna move on to revealing the big $50,000 Telstra development grant sponsored by Humanitech, and I would like to ask Alistair to share some words around your decision-making process, and then please help us to reveal the winner of the $50,000 development grant.
Thanks, Sina. I feel like I'm jumping off my chair and moving like everyone else that has participated. I'm super excited. Jackie and I, Jackie from Telstra Foundation and I, this was a really tough decision. The top 3 tonight were amazing. So yeah, on behalf of Humanitech and our founding partner, Telstra Foundation, I'd like to thank all 8 teams pitching tonight. What an incredible array of innovative organisations working towards creating a climate resilient, livable and thriving Australia, but more importantly, globe. I have been where you all are today, and commendations. Like it's a lot of courage to do this and to get this far. Lots of perseverance and determination can come out tonight, and these experiences just like rebuild that sort of energy to move forward. So I would push for all 8 organisations to keep on pushing and to get out there, because you are all doing an amazing job. In saying that, the winning team really displays the sort of attributes we wish to foster at Humanitech to amplify impact and scale on the fight against climate change. And so I'm beyond thrilled to announce the winner of the $50,000 grant tonight, and a spot in our 2021 innovation program is congratulations.
Can we get the camera on Whirl? I want to see what Alina's doing.
Wheel, where are you?
Yeah.
Come on, let's get it on there.
Wow. I thank you so much. We have worked so hard and have been so honored to have been part of this process. It's been exciting and hard and thrilling and gratifying. And so to be able to work with such esteemed organizations going forward will be the greatest honor for our team. So thank you so much for this opportunity.
Amazing. Our absolute pleasure. And the whole reason around sort of us picking Whirl was like we've spent a lot of time researching and working and spending time with the communities to really sort of, as I said at the start of the night, really identify problems we're solving. And the problem within climate that we wish to explore is like really making carbon reducing solutions more available to willing communities. And so yeah, Whirl is sort of fits that sort of problem statement for us. So yeah, big congratulations to you 3 girls, and I hope you can crack a bottle of bubbles and celebrate. But for all the other teams, like yeah, pat on the backs too. Like yeah, amazing effort.
Thank you, Alistair. Thank you once again. Thank you, Alistair. Thank you once again to Humanitech and Telstra, to all our judges who have joined us today, to our sponsors, and to our teams especially. I'm also a little bit excited now. So what I will do is, Tom, thank you for joining me today and leading us through this event. You have been an absolute amazing co-host. I loved every minute of this event today. I love the pitches and the teams. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Would you like to say something before we actually leave the last word with our CEO, Chris Lee?
Yeah, before Chris jumps on, I just want to reiterate everything that has been said tonight. And that is, guys, I know for those of you who didn't get in the top 3. Right now, you're feeling pretty low, I'm sure. You put in so much work. And when you hear that, oh, look, there always has to be a winner and it's a bit of a token, don't take it that way. I have seen so many amazing businesses, revenue generating, impactful businesses tonight. Do not let this discourage you. Just let it test your perseverance, because you're going to be perseverant, or you're going to hit a few roadblocks along the way. Don't let it drag you down. But on the flip side, those that got through, congratulations, amazing effort, and do this country proud. I'm going to give you a test right now, do something I couldn't do. I want to see Australia take out global climate launchpad. And it's something that no one's done before. So do this country proud, double down, and really give it your best shot. Congratulations to everyone. And look, I'll hand over to Chris.
Thanks, Tom. Thanks, Sina. Yeah, it's really tricky to sort of end off tonight. It's been an amazing evening hearing from the teams, and I'm really excited and proud of the winners. Look, it's really hard. I had my own personal top 3. They align with some of what the judges had, but I'm really glad that I wasn't on the judging panel tonight. We've run this program for 5 years now, and the finalists that we're getting are extremely strong, and we're just getting stronger and stronger teams come through to the top. And it's very, very hard to pick the winners on the day. Any one of the teams could have been in that top 3. And I fully expect, and we will fully support all of you to continue with your ideas, that open up our networks, connect you to additional people to really build on your ideas. And hopefully, I want to see you back in the years to come talking about your successes, like, Tom and Naomi. Look, well done to Whirl. I'm sort of a bit disappointed. Last time we did this was actually in 2019, face-to-face, and Tom swept me off my feet off the stage. He was so excited about winning, and it would have been nice to have a similar experience with our winners tonight. But we really look forward to connecting with you face-to-face when time allows. But it's really fantastic to see you all, and I'm really excited about some of the tech that's flowing through. I want to say a special thanks to the sponsors that have supported us. We have a generous grant from the Commonwealth Government through the Oz Industry Entrepreneurs Program, through their incubator program, Race for 2030 and the Future Battery CRC. It's really great to work with them, and we're doing more work with them to sort of help pull through that next cohort, and how we can turn ideas from the lab into commercialization. So it's really, really exciting to work with them. Big thanks to Humanitech and the Telstra Foundation. It's really exciting to have an award like that. It makes a massive difference to a team and really helps them, step forward and really, in this critical time when they're still sort of trying to pin down their idea, they're too early to talk to investors, or it's a lot harder to get money. 50 grand can actually go a long way. And so, really appreciate, and it's been really fantastic working with Al and Jackie to award that this year, and we hope that we can continue to work with them. Big thank you to our judges. It's really through the networks we have through the CRC and other connections we have. It's really exciting to get very high caliber judges who've got a lot of experience. They've worked with startups, they've made investments. So that we've got qualified people who are looking at these things and trying to evaluate the winners on the day. So special thanks to Ivor, Usman, Al, Sarah and Jackie. Sarah's becoming a bit of a regular now. It's 2 years in a row, so we'll see if we can get her back again next year. So it's been really great to do this. And also, I think some of them are online today on the stream, but the mentors that work with the teams and help them get the alumni and previous participants in Climate Launchpad continue to help, and it's really valuable. We've got a really strong community, and we actively encourage you to continue being part of that community. We want to hear your stories. We want to hear your successes, your failures, and wherever we can help out, we're always keen to do that. Big thanks to the team. It was another tricky year. We did it completely online last year. We were lucky enough to do a bit of a hybrid, at least in some states, where teams got to be face-to-face. Poor old Melbourne didn't manage it again this year, but it's really great to see the work being delivered and the professionalism that comes from the work that gets done. So big thanks to Sina and Will and Jess. It really makes my job very, very easy. I just turn up and get told what to say. I didn't even have to leave my house tonight. So, it makes it very easy. But it's really fantastic, and the team, it's really important, even in, delivering under COVID and delivering these online programs. We're still delivering amazing quality with high professionalism and engagement, and creating a welcoming space for the teams to continue on their journey. So a big shout out to them. I'm really keen. If we've got any investors on the stream, please reach out to us. We're happy to connect you with the teams. In previous years, there's been quite a lot of interest from small scale investors who are looking for early stage startups. So we'll link you to the teams. Just reach out to the team. We can connect you. The contact details are being put in the chat. If you're sitting there thinking, I've got a much better idea, well, come and join us. We'll be running the program again next year. It keeps getting bigger and bigger each year. We had more than 40 teams go through the boot camps this year. And it's a great experience, and we really look forward to delivering that to you next year. Stay safe, and good luck to you all. And thanks again for attending and listening tonight.
Okay, everyone. Well, look, thanks, Chris. That has been fantastic. And I loved your call out at the end there, because quite often it's easy to sit back in the armchair and go, I've got a pretty good idea. Ideas mean nothing until you do something about them. So if you've got a good idea, get in touch with Climate Kick and Climate Launchpad for next year. And seriously, just follow the journey of these amazing businesses that are here tonight. I can't wait to see how it all shapes out. So congratulations to our winners. Congratulations to those that didn't win but made it through to this final. Get out there and make it happen. We've got a big job to do, and it's a job that we can't do alone, as everyone says, but this is the most important thing we have to do, and it's to solve the most pressing problem of our time. So great work, everyone, and have a great night. Thank you.
Hi, everyone.
Wonderful. And we have just ended the live stream.